Assalamu alaikum students. Today we will start chapter number 3, classification of living organisms in biology. What is classification? What do you mean by classification? Classification is actually the arrangement of organisms into groups and subgroups on the basis of their similarities and dissimilarities. That is known as classification. Means what do we have in classification? We will arrange the organisms into division, phylum, class, family, species, and we will arrange them according to their similar characteristics and dissimilar characteristics, and we will differentiate them on the basis of their dissimilar characteristics. Now, what are the basis of classification? The classification of organisms is based on such features or characters which are similar to one kind of organisms and different in different kind of organisms. So these are the basic basis of classification. How what is the you can say that the class organism can be classified on the basis of their features or characteristics which are different and similar. Okay, so these characters may vary about their anatomy, morphology, physiology, cell structure, and many other things like number of chromosomes, embryology, or many more. Moving towards the aims and objectives of classification. What are the aims and objectives of classification? Number one will be it helps into determination of similarities and differences between different organisms. What characteristics do different organisms do vary, or you can say are there on which characteristics are similar in different organisms. Number two will be to arrange organisms on the basis of similarities and differences, to identify the organisms on the basis of their structure and other prominent characters, and to find out interrelationships of organisms. Aristotle was the first who classified the organisms on the basis of their resemblances. After this, Theophilus classified the plants, and after a long time, Linnaeus was the one who suggested a new system of classification, which is known as taxonomy in modern times. Moving towards homology. What is homology? Homology is the presence of similar characters and different organisms which indicates their common features or common ancestors. This similarity is because of some common ancestral origin or their hereditary characteristics, and their examples are the arms of monkey, flipper of a whale, wings of a bat, and these things show homology. So they are dissimilar apparently, but their internal structures are same. मतलब कि their arrangement of bones and muscles and and their origin are same, but they are dissimilar apparently. These organs are known as homologous organs. Due to this homology, we can say that monkey, whale, and bat had common ancestors and are placed in some large group called vertebrates. Thus, homology is proved to be very helpful in classification. Then there comes homologous organs and analogous organs. Homologous organs are those organs which have similar origin but different structure and functions. Examples: the fruits of all plants, whether sweet or sour, small and dry, or large and fleshy, are the homologous structures because they all develop from ovary of flower. Their origin is common. Analogous organs are those which are similar in function but different in basic structure. But different in basic structure and origins, and they are known as analogous organs. Examples will be wings of an insect, of a bird. Despite having same function, they are not homologous because of their origin is different. Okay. Now, what is binomial nomenclature? Students, it is basically a system, you can say, or it is a method of giving scientific name. It is basically the method of giving scientific names to organisms is known as nomenclature. Same animal or same plant may be known by different names. It must have one scientific name so that there may be no confusion. To give such names to living organisms, the method was formulated by Carolus Linnaeus. This method is known as binomial nomenclature. Because this system is simple and comprehensive, so it is accepted and used in the world. So every species of living organisms consists of two words. The first word is the name of genus, called generic names start with the capital letter, and the second word is the name of species written with small letter. These are some scientific classification of organisms, living organisms. One will be Brassica campestris. It is classified into this its kingdom, division, class, order, family, genus, species, and then scientific name. As you can see, same happens in the scientific classification of a man, and then there comes classification of frog. So now we will study five kingdom classification. What is five kingdom classification? Robert H. Whittaker was the one who classified organisms into five kingdoms. Number one was kingdom Monera, in which all unicellular all unicellular prokaryotes with auto or heterotrophic mode of living were included, like viruses, bacteria, and blue-green algae. Then there was kingdom Protista, which includes all unicellular eukaryotes with auto heterotrophic mode of living, which are no longer classified as animals, plant, or fungi. You can say that all animals, plants, or fungi having unicellular eukaryotes, either autotrophic or heterotrophic, were included in Protista. Examples are Euglena and Paramecium. Now, kingdom fungi. In kingdom fungi, he included all non-chlorophyllous, multicellular, heterotrophic, eukaryotic organisms having cell wall and cynocytic body called mycelium, and the examples were agaricus and yeast. Now then comes kingdom Plantae, which includes all the chlorophyllous, multicellular, autotrophic, eukaryotic living organisms having cellulose cell wall. Examples were apple and sunflower. Then there comes kingdom Animalia, which includes non-chlorophyllous, multicellular, heterotrophic, eukaryotic living organisms having no cell wall. Examples were hydra, earthworm, and man. So there were some defects in the H. Whittaker classification, and those were he included in the kingdom Protista all unicellular organisms that were regarded as animals or plants. Other than you can say, despite of the fact that they are animals and plants, he included all those unicellular eukaryotes in Protista. So that was the defect in his classification. Other than this, placing unicellular algae in Protista and colonial multicellular algae in Plantae was very much confusing. So this was the main defect of his kingdom. Viruses were placed in kingdom Monera, while they showed both living and non-living characteristics, which no other organisms show. So unicellular fungi were placed in kingdom Fungi with multicellular fungi, while they exhibit different properties. Example, molds. So then there were another scientist known as Margulis and Schwartz, which modified his classification, and they turned kingdom Monera and Protista into prokaryotes and Protoctista. And what they do that they included all the prokaryotes in kingdom Prokaryota, and they included all eukaryotic organisms in kingdom Protoctista. Examples: Euglena, Paramecium, Chlamydomonas, yeast, and amoeba. In kingdom Fungi, again non-chlorophyllous, multicellular, eukaryotic organisms having cell wall and cynocytic body called mycelium. Examples are same, agaricus, and penicillium. Kingdom Plantae, it includes all the chlorophyllous, multicellular, eukaryotic, autotrophic living organisms having cell wall, and zygote develops into an embryo. Example: pinus, ferns, apple, and sunflower. In kingdom Animalia, they included all the entire non-chlorophyllous, multicellular, eukaryotic, heterotrophic living organisms having no cell wall, and zygote develops into an embryo. Examples are hydra, earthworm, and man. So this is it for chapter number 3.